That was sweet. In our first service, there was a lot of the word Melissa Etheridge going around. And they said, oh, Diane Durrett, it sounds like Melissa Etheridge. And I said, you know, I think Melissa Etheridge sounds like Diane Durrett. Yeah. The idea from that song that I absolutely love is the idea, how many of us, let's be honest with each other here, wish that we could snap our fingers, boom, and the change would happen. The transformation would happen. There's a lot of people sitting in places and Sunday morning think, give me the magic pill. Make it go away. We go to our doctor's offices. Give me the magic pill. I want to go through the change. Give me something that makes it easy. The reality is there's nothing easy about the spiritual path, and there's nothing easy about the transformational experience. But boy, is it worth it. Ask any butterfly. They'll tell you. Was it worth it? Yeah? Ask any mother that went through birth and gave birth to a child. It's worth it. Transformation is going to happen, but you know, if you think it's a magical one-time event, I hate to disappoint you. That what we're doing today is the beginning of an extended journey. And we're doing it through the white stone ceremony and what we call the gateway of transformation. In biblical times, in the book of Revelations, it talks about what a slave or an imprisoned person used to get when they were freed from their bondage. Let's read this together. To them that overcometh will I give a white stone, and in that stone a new name is written. You know, you kind of read that like a Presbyterian. Nothing wrong with that, but you're at a unity church. Let's read it like a unitic. Together, to them that overcometh will I give a white stone, and in that stone a new name is written. In ancient biblical times, when they were released from their bondage, they were given two things. One, a white stone. It was a freedom. It was a symbol of freedom that when they were walking around their free life, when somebody questioned them, are you in bondage still? Do you have the right to be free? They'd pull that stone out and go, here's the evidence. I was given this. Yes, I have the right to be free. But here at Unity, I think it's as much a reminder to ourselves as it is for anybody on the outside, that I am free of the stinking thinking. I am free of the old ideas. I am free of the old thoughts that have controlled me. I am free of anything that has anchored me to a limited reality, a limited thought system. Yes, I am free. And that stone is a symbol of that. You're going to get a white stone today, and I hope you will carry it with you, put it somewhere in your home to say, I live in an unlimited universe. Divine potentiality is absolutely calling me into a greater expression. The other thing that a slave or a person released from imprisonment would get was the ability to give themselves a new name. That within that stone was a new name, and we know metaphysically that a new name means a new nature, a new way of expressing the vast miracle of the God that is expressing at the point of view, unlimited and unbound by the old thoughts. It's a new nature, a new way of expressing and experiencing this vast miracle of life. And in order to get to that place, of new awareness, there has to be a new thought. And so not only this scripture, but this next one that has a picture of a butterfly on it. There we go. This is foundational to claiming that new nature. Let's read it together like unitics. Be ye transformed by the renewing of... Take your hand and place it upon your heart, and to know that you are fully and completely responsible for the transformation, for the life that you are living. You take full ownership today as you say it one more time together. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Today, we're going to get the opportunity to claim our divinity by claiming our white stone and releasing anything that has held us captive. Now, you may notice around the room, Christmas is still up at Unity North. I understand in the South that that's a blasphemy. On December 26th, Christmas is supposed to disappear. I'd leave it up all year long if I could, because it reminds me of the hero's journey that began with a Christ awareness. That there was a light that was birthed in my heart and my mind and my soul to go, wow, as good as it's been, it can be even better. As good as my life has been, it can be even better. A new spark was lit in my brain, in your brain, I hope, as well. So let Christmas live 365 days a year, because that birthing, that child, that awareness must be nurtured every single moment of our life. I will not play small. I will not be bound by who I have been, but I will be fully the light of the world that this man who was birthed at Christmas time, or sometime in August, I don't know, said, you are the light of the world, shine, and don't hide that light under a bushel. So yes, Christmas is still up. It'll go down tomorrow, because I don't want any picketers out front saying that Unity North is doing it wrong. Epiphany was yesterday, so the wise men just showed up. We're waiting for the wise women. Oh, here they are. So, that was a cheap one. Come on. But you also notice that there's evidence of the burning bowl ceremony that we did in the room. Those buckets where you released anything. You had the awareness at Christmas of what needed to be released in order to shine brightly, and you put it into a bucket and said, be gone. I don't need this anymore. You released it, and from the ashes today, this is the third part of our trilogy, Christmas Burning Bowl and White Stone and the Gateway of Transformation ritual as one. From those ashes, the great phoenix arises. The spark is ignited, and it becomes a flame so bright that your life will never be the same again. The world will never be the same again because you are bringing a light and a warmth to the planet through your consciousness, through your desire, through your commitment to being completely and totally free as that light of the world. That transformation is not only happening internally, it's happening externally. As it is within, it will be without. It can be no other way. That's the way the universe is set up. The thing about freedom, we think it should be a magic snap the fingers, and suddenly I'm free. Freedom is something that we have to go after, that we have to claim, we have to seek, we have to find. It's not a one-time event. It's a process that we need to take part in order to maintain it. We need to grab freedom, take action, and there's the fifth unity principle. Get off the couch and do something. Don't make a commitment of Christmas and waste Christmas or a burning bowl or what happens here today by not getting into a place of action when you go out there. I always say that if what we do in this room stays in this room, it's been a wonderful entertainment. Ritual for ritual's sake is a waste of time. But if it goes out those doors energetically through your consciousness and your desire to change the planet, it's been the most valuable time you could have spent. We don't do that, we're going to find ourselves back in prison. We're going to find ourselves back in the same thinking that created the old container. So you are a co-creator in this. Freedom is not just given to us, but freedom is created by us. You are endowed with all the ability to manifest the perfect heaven on earth, but you must be an active participant in that. The gifts of God, every gift of God, whether it be freedom, peace, joy, love, harmony, I don't care what it is available to us all the time. All that God has ever been, ever will be, is here, is now. And as we wake up to the next chapter, we then have to nurture it like a child. We have to tend that garden, and we need to move. Internally, we need to move externally, and most importantly, we need to move intentionally. Today, you are being asked to make an intention, to make a sacred vow to your divine self, that divine light that you found at Christmas, to the divine part of you that released the blocks and the walls that were in the way, to make a commitment that you will never be the same when you walk through this portal, these three portals that are here today. You are being asked to stand on one side of this gate and to say, this is who I have been, and I will be transformed by the renewing of my mind, that when I walk through this gate, intentionally, energetically, purposefully, mindfully, I no longer can go back. I can't do that. A mind once stretched can never return back to its original shape. I don't know who said that. I know somebody here probably knows. You'll tell me afterwards. Ernest Holmes said it, and so did Richard Burdick, and so did 100 other people. I'll find who said it first. It doesn't really matter. But the reality is, I want you to understand that there's no going here, getting the white stone and going, holy crap, this is scary. Let me put it down and go back in. The door shuts behind you. Your mind and your heart and your spirit, once it tastes the sweet nectar of God's cup of existence expressed as you can no longer go back to being small. That's how powerful this simple little ritual is today. You're being energetically asked to leave on one side of this gateway who you have been, to step into your freedom. Don't take it lightly, because you're speaking to the universe. I'm ready to change at depth. I am ready to shift in such a way that I'm going to be changed at depth. And when I change at depth, as it is in mind, as it is in heart, it will be in my experience. So I'm putting the charge to you. Not only are you changing your life, you are hereby responsible for changing the planet. What you do today is energetically connected to people everywhere around this beautiful globe. That's how important the work that you do today is. Don't do it without being mindful. Now, that can be scary, right? Anybody ever been asked to do something that scared you to the core? I want this to be that. I want you to take a vision, a dream, a purpose through that portal as you go for that freedom and that gusto and claim with a powerful voice who you are. And if it doesn't make your knees knock, stay in the chair until you find the one that does make your knees knock. Because it's not big enough. If it's easy for you, if it's comfortable for you, it's not big enough. I want you to have those butterflies moving and stirring in you that go, wow, Unity North is asking me to be more fully. And it doesn't matter if you're 6 years old or 97. You're being asked to be the magnificent Christ, Buddha, Atman, I don't care what you call it, but you're being asked to live it in 2018 like you never have before. Let your knees knock. The butterflies are going to fly, and you're not going to get rid of the butterflies, but you're going to teach them to fly in formation. They're going to always be there. I would love for them to be gone. Have a magic finger, they're gone. Nope. If you're on an evolving path, the butterflies go with you. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is your great partner. If everything is God, we talk about that all the time. One presence, one power, one goodness. It's God. Everything and everybody is an expression of God. That means that in your fear is the energy of God. Wow, that seems weird. Is God fear? No. God is just energy, and that energy is being used through your mind and heart to manifest fear. You become a great spiritual Tai Chi master. Whoa! Fear becomes love. Fear becomes something greater. It's just movement of energy, and when we are conscious of our ability to move energy, fear has no power and no sting over us. Yes? I have some quotes I've been collecting, preparing for this final chapter in our trilogy. They're up there, and I'm going to invite you to use not a Presbyterian voice, but to use a unitic's voice, an empowered hero's voice. You're beginning a journey. Let's read this together. Together? Go ahead and dance with your doubt, but you lead. Opportunity dances with those on the dance floor. I'm going to invite you to not get social when we get up in a minute, just a moment to walk through these gates, but I invite you to dance. To dance with your fear as your partner, but make sure you're leading. Let fear be there at 49%, but don't let it go to 51%. Okay, here it is. I'm being asked to stretch. You get on the dance floor and know that you're in charge. Together, the second one. Unbutton your uncertainty. Free your fears. They are indicators of an evolving path. I want you to hear this clearly. We don't deny humanness in this community. You are fully human. And that means you have fears. And if you shove those fears down and don't verbalize them or talk about them, that's malpractice. I'm a human being, and I'm scared to death. Then followed up with the affirmation, but I'm more than my fears. I am more than these doubts. I am more than any energy that's out here that's causing me to be scared. Let's read the next one. Do one thing every day that scares you. Now, I'm sure you'd agree Eleanor Roosevelt is a pretty smart lady. Was a pretty smart lady. Probably still is at a higher dimension. I think that's good advice, so let's read the next one. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing. Helen Keller is one of my heroes. I don't know about you, but I don't like doing nothing. I don't like being in a stagnant environment. I don't like being a Dead Sea. I like to know that I'm on an evolving path and that the gifts I have been given, the banquet table of gifts, is being utilized. Bring forth that which is within you, and you will have tremendous life. Push it down, don't bring it forth, and it's actually destroying you. The dream is not there by accident. The vision is not there by accident. It is a seed planted by the infinite presence of God and the universe and the cosmos itself. You are a cosmic storm waiting to happen. Feel it, know it, and then bring it forth, because then you will not be nothing. You will be everything. And finally, the last one together. When we change the way we speak about the things that we fear, we take their power away. Right now, we are sitting in a place where there is some trepidation. If you're on a growing path, and I know you all are, it's there. Change the way you speak about it. The creative impulse of the universe is right there at the edge of your lips, right there at the edge of your mind. I speak something different, I take away the sting. I take away the power. I take away anything but a higher vibration. And I move myself and magnetize myself into a higher vibration. What we're going to do here in just a moment, I'm going to give you one final reading, and then we're going to do this process. Your freedom is waiting for you on the other side of these gateways. The white stone is there. I'm going to invite you to please take your time. 2 years ago, we had Atlanta traffic in here, when everybody got up at the same time and nothing was moving. Take your time to mindfully, spiritually get in touch with, I'm being called. At that point, if the line is not too full, get in line and prepare to walk with community. See, we do this together. You're not alone in this journey. Transformation is happening on one side of the room to the other. And we find strength from each other doing this as a collective, as a family, as a community. These 3 aisles here, they'll be the ones that will be coming forward. You have 3 choices. Go to the one that feels right to you. Those who are not comfortable with stairs, go ahead and go to the side. And then once you go through the portal, and I want you to stand here, I want you to be fully in the presence of gratitude for who you have been. It served me well. Thank you. Shed the clothing. Don't shed the clothing. Shed the old layers, shed the old skin, and then step into the new. And when you are here, all the stones are the same. Move quickly. You don't have to choose. It's going to call you. You're going to know which one to grab, and then you'll make your way outside the outer edge and to get back into your seat. Again, we have plenty of time to do this. I don't want a crowd. I don't want Atlanta traffic. But I want you to do this mindfully, sacredly. It is a ritual that I do not want you to waste. Here's the final prayer when it comes to the fears that you're going to face. Like a little music. This is a poem that I wrote with my friend Christina Russell. It talks about the transformation that's about to happen. I took my fear and I held its hand and I said, I will be your friend. And then I gave it to my family. Give it to those who believe in you, sitting right next to you here today. And they held it up, and it became peace of mind. And they danced with it, the dance of transformation, and it became my confidence. And they believed in its transformation, and it became my healing. And I would add to that, it became your wholeness, your perfection, your magnificence. And they taught it how to pray, and it became courage. And they gave it back to me, and it was love. Fear is on one side of this gate, love is on the other, and we give it to each other. I took my doubts, and I held them close, and I said, I am more than this. And then I released them to God. And then God held them up, the great phoenix, and they became understanding, and they became compassion. And God danced with them. And they became nothing more than specters, returned to the nothingness from whence they came. God believed in me. God believed in my transformation, and I found the strength that I needed. And I remember that I am never, ever alone, and that the doubts and the fears were transformed to become God itself. And God became the only thing that matters. God became love. Today, I am challenging and inviting you to become love at a higher degree than you have ever been loved before. We're going to have chanting going on. I'm going to invite the singers to come forward. When you get your stone and return back to your seat, don't rush to put a name down. We have a wonderful meditative experience that's going to happen here with April to guide you to that new nature, to that new way of being, to that new name. Just come back to your seat and hold the sense of freedom, the sense of grace and choice that is yours. And if you get distracted with the movement in the room, great. Be the container for those people. Be love for those people who are making the same decision that you are. Again, take your time. We don't want a traffic jam. As you feel led and the chanting continues, please sing with us. Make your way to the gateway of transformation to claim your freedom. We begin with the idea, I am divine. God lives in me